Hey everybody, hope you're doing well. Now I wanted to do a little video that looked over some of the more successful side quests, and what I've done is I've picked 5 side quests that maybe were good on rewards, good on structure, good overall, and yeah, just were very simple to get on with. Unfortunately, a lot of those criteria are very difficult to get all of them, especially when you consider a lot of side quests and side events. Well, they don't always go according to plan, do they? And unfortunately, some on the list actually have problems with them, but the structure and the intention, the rewards and a few other things as well are just, you know, completely on point. FYI, there are some on our list that actually went well and were recent. Yes, I know, that's something that's very strange. This very much for me is like going down memory lane, especially when we kick off with our first type of side event or special quest, which is referred to as Rocket's Scrapyard or Rocket's Workshop, whatever you wanted to really call it. The fact is, with this, you're able to go into this and similar to a currency and store type setup where, you know, you get a currency like gamma, radiation, and then you're able to spend it in a store. But this store was very different and had a unique feel to it. By doing different events, you were able to go and grab a certain amount of scrap. Scrap was then able to go down these different routes here and spend certain things, do a fight at the end, which is kind of a pointless fight, and leave. But the very kind of unique manner to this was, it was just kind of, well, kooky, a little bit weird, but at the same time it was kind of nice because it was like a store as such. You went down, grabbed the stuff on the paths that you wanted, and then went and just finished up. Similar to a lot of other quests that have been put in recently, but still the narrative was this was very easy and as well didn't have any kind of scuffy things to it. Now number 4 on my list is comes with a sigh, doesn't it? Mutant Treasure Island. Mutant Treasure Island has the sigh because of the way that it was amazing. It is one of the best and highly rated quests, but it did have a lot of problems when it came to the banning incidents. Yes, people got banned because they exploited something. Although there is there's a lot of questions that could be raised about, you know, Kabam making sure they deal with something very early on, and as well kind of make this quest feel like it was you know, back firing on both cylinders. The quest was good. Look, you grab an ISO key, you go and do a path, you grab the path you want, you grab the stuff that you want, and you're able to get some good stuff. There is the limitation that you only get a certain amount of keys. Very much found for those that that did certain difficulties or a certain type of titleage in the game, you weren't able to get like a whole load of stuff. But for some, they were able to get 6-star shards where they probably wouldn't be able to get any. Lots of 5-star shards where they wouldn't be able to get any. I think it was 2 opportunities for 5-star Awakening Gem Crystals. There was also a featured 5-star twice. There's some decent stuff that was on offer, and that was really great. This is one of the best quests. Bar the little kind of like scuffy nature to the bug very much starting on. And that's the problem. A lot of these good quests that are added in, some of them have good intentions to them, but Kabam make big mistakes, which then result in like factors which are out of our control, like bannings, and as well like the quest being down for a whole chunk of a week. Next on the list, and I've got to turn my attention to the Red Room Ops. Unfortunately, this again is one of those situations where this had a bit of scuff to it, to a degree that we actually got ourselves a little bit of compensation. We were able to run multiple times in the Red Rifts, which gave us this great opportunity to grab a lot of stuff. But also, with the way that this was put together, we had these things called Dimensional Chronometers, where we were able to select our reward. This was, I believe, one of the first ever times we had something of an RNG-based process to then actually guarantee yourself some good stuff. A lot of players picked up some great stuff. This was the month that I picked up a Skill Awakening Gem and managed to awaken my my Nick Fury, and that was great because it was... Actually, I think I got double. That's it. I got the Skill Awakening Gem in order to do Aegon, and then I got another one to do Nick Fury. So I had a double whammy, and it was a great, great month for this. Nowadays, the 5-star Awakening Gem is given out a lot more to players than normal, but still, it's all good. And yeah, this, apart from that compensation and as well kind of failure that Kabam had with this was a really good opportunity for players to grab stuff and was actually a pretty good event. Now the next side event that I want to talk about, I'll kind of go, this was a good event, and that was the negative zones. If you've been with the channel for a while, you know I've talked about negative zones quite a bit. Now on screen you might be like not too impressed, especially with the fact that you get 1,400 6-star shards. But this was an event where you knew what you were getting. There was also something else that I loved about this. It was easy to get on with. There were a few kind of like scuffy fights from the point of like an interaction, but it gave choice, and as well, one of the best things about this is that it limited the fights that you did. I mean, here's an example here by a player that's got a YouTube channel, Onkar23, so shout out to Onkar. This was back in 2019, April 2019 to be exact. So, wow, 2 years ago, Jesus. But this was really simple. 3 fights. That's it. Actually, no, 2 fights. God, that's even better. 2 fights and you're done. Imagine that on a daily basis, to go in and do 2 fights and being completely done with this particular quest. That was pretty impressive. Nowadays, something like that, I don't think we'd ever see. I mean, what, we've got 8 fights in the current side event, and as well the rewards are so, well, not difficult, but it's RNG based. Imagine if we had negative zones, and this is one of the favorite quests that I had for a while, because of that just simple element to it. You know what you're getting yourself involved with. You know that you can even do the totals. You'll do 30 negative zones and as well have yourself an opportunity to go, I get this of tier 2 alpha, this of 5-star shards, this of 6-star shards, and it's happy days. Granted, 2 years ago meta would mean that the rewards would have to be bumped up quite a bit, but I just love the fact that this is incredibly simple and easy to get on with, which is what a lot of these side events should be exactly like. Unfortunately, as I remember, as I'm recording this video, I believe this is when we had some major downtime lag or kind of knocking out and connection problems, which did kind of like scupper a good chunk of this, but I think it was like the first week of the side quest being out. So it wasn't a huge hindrance. It's just a shame that everything has to be marred with something wasn't going so well for the game at the time. However, as I said, it was a simplistic side event. You knew what you were doing. You knew what you were getting yourself involved with. 2 fights and done. Perfect. So the question is going to be, what is my #1 favorite side of So the final thing is, what is the best side event or side quest? Now, you could say that it's going to be all the stores, and yeah, I agree. It could be every time that there's a store, whether or not there's a acorn store, whether or not there's a gamma radiation store, infinity dust store, it's all good. And that definitely would be the top one. But we need something that's got an element of spice, also something that's kind of gone in and hasn't had too many problems, and has been very easy to get on with. And I think that has got to be Spiderlam back on the air. That quest, even on the face of it, and did come in December, it did have some not exactly co-aligning event or sort of solo event, solo milestone. That's all to do with the gifting event, but look, a lot of players were taking part in the gifting event. So that's where they got your 6-star shards. The reason I make that point and bring that back in is because it's relevant to the fact that 6-star shards for those that grinded out legendary were probably disappointed with what they got. However, though, because there was a celebrity challenge on as well at the same time that gave you the option, not gave you an option, gave you a 6-star crystal. I want to say it was 6-star crystal. I don't think it was 6-star nexus, but it gave you a 6-star crystal. There was a lot of other things on. However, though, I think it's just down to these lovely Epoch shards and the conversion rate. Players were picking up stuff that you'd spend 3,000 units on, so 3,000 units of value being applied into this particular side event and getting it back, which I think is pretty impressive, especially because a lot of players would be like, oh, you know, I wanted to get this or this, but instead they got that. Yes, okay, it is RNG based when you get these crystals, but I guess that's the fun of like the time and fun of December, fun of Christmas, is just opening and seeing what you get. Unfortunately, these aren't under the new drop rate changes, which I don't know if they'd ever bring this back, especially if it was a case that players were more commonly getting, if they've got Cavalier versions of them, more on the line of 5 stars and 6 stars, as opposed to let's face it, what I got, which was 3 stars and 4 stars. And I think it may have been a couple of 5 stars, maybe 1 5-star in that. But it definitely wasn't as spicier as a lot of other people were kind of getting the luck from. But either way, you know, I think this is one of the best ones. If we can get over and rule out that little bit of scuff when it came to Epoch shard losing out, and it was only a slim amount, I think about 200 Epoch shards in some cases, but others got some others kind of reduction, I think, but it was very much specific to each individual player affected. It was still a very successful event and pretty fun. So that's the reason I kind of feel that this is one of the best ones, apart from the stores, but I just feel that this is going to be something a little bit more unique than the stores. And there we go, that's been a little video looking over some of the best side events that maybe had good rewards, not too scuffed, and as well had stuff that, you know, players really rate, they had a good time with, and found that it was enjoyable enough. Yeah, there's a lot of work I think Kabam need to do when it comes to side events. More on that, I think, save for another video. Thank you very much for watching this one. What is your favourite side event? Put it in the comment section down below. Make sure to check out some other content located up there, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye-bye.